In the heart of the ancient Bristlewood Forest, a bustling community of wild boars thrived. Among the thick trees and sprawling underbrush, the boars lived carefree lives, enjoying the abundance of nature. The forest provided everything they needed: lush meadows for grazing, cool streams for drinking, and plenty of shelter from predators. One young boar, named Tusk, was particularly adventurous. With his shiny black coat and strong legs, he roamed the forest with boundless energy, exploring every corner of Bristlewood. Tusk loved to eat the sweetest fruits, dig for roots, and race with his friends through the undergrowth. Tusk's best friend, Squealer, was always by his side. Squealer was a bit smaller and more cautious, but he admired Tusk's spirit. The two friends spent their days playing and feasting, often ignoring the advice of the older boars, who urged them to take care of their health and be mindful of their diet. "Don't eat too many sweet fruits, Tusk," advised Grizzle, the wise elder of the herd. "Balance is key to staying strong." Tusk, however, laughed it off. "I'm young and strong. I can eat whatever I want and still outrun anyone." The boars' carefree days continued, filled with laughter and indulgence. But beneath the surface, changes were stirring in Bristlewood, changes that would soon test Tusk and Squealer in ways they never expected. As the seasons changed, subtle signs began to appear that something was amiss in Bristlewood. The once plentiful fruits were becoming scarcer, and the lush meadows were starting to thin. The older boars noticed these changes and grew concerned, urging the younger ones to be cautious and conserve their energy. Tusk and Squealer, however, paid little heed. They continued their wild adventures, confident that the forest would always provide. One day, while chasing a butterfly, Tusk stumbled and fell into a patch of thorns. Though he managed to free himself, he felt a sharp pain in his leg. "Are you okay, Tusk?" Squealer asked, worried. "I'm fine," Tusk replied, hiding the discomfort. "Just a little scratch." But the pain persisted, and over the following days, Tusk found it harder to keep up with his friends. His once robust energy seemed to wane, and he started to feel tired more often. Squealer noticed the change and tried to convince Tusk to rest and seek help from the elders. "You need to take care of yourself, Tusk," Squealer urged. "Let's talk to Grizzle." Reluctantly, Tusk agreed. Grizzle examined Tusk's leg and sighed. "This isn't just a scratch, Tusk. It's an infection. You need to rest and let it heal. And you must start taking better care of your health." Tusk nodded, realizing the gravity of the situation. He promised to follow Grizzle's advice, but the lesson he was about to learn would go much deeper than simply healing a wound. Determined to recover, Tusk followed Grizzle's instructions carefully. He rested his injured leg, ate a balanced diet, and avoided overexertion. Squealer stayed by his side, encouraging him and helping him find the best roots and greens for nourishment. As the days passed, Tusk began to feel stronger. The infection in his leg slowly healed, and he regained some of his lost energy. During this time, he also began to notice how the older boars took care of their health. They were always mindful of what they ate, ensuring they had a mix of different foods. They exercised regularly, but never pushed themselves too hard. One evening, as the boars gathered around a warm fire, Grizzle shared stories of their ancestors. "Our forebears understood the importance of balance," he said. "They knew that to thrive in the forest, we must respect our bodies and the land that sustains us." Tusk listened intently, realizing how careless he had been. He made a promise to himself to take better care of his health and to encourage his friends to do the same. When Tusk was fully healed, he resumed his adventures, but this time with a new perspective. He and Squealer explored the forest with a greater appreciation for its gifts, taking only what they needed and ensuring they left enough for others. Just as life seemed to be returning to normal, a new threat emerged in Bristlewood. The once healthy streams began to dry up, and strange plants started to invade the forest, choking out the native flora. The boars struggled to find enough food and water, and many fell ill. Grizzle called for a meeting of the herd. "We must act quickly to save our home," he said. "We need to understand what's happening and find a solution." Tusk, now wiser and more responsible, volunteered to lead a group of boars to investigate the changes in the forest. With Squealer and a few others by his side, they ventured deeper into Bristlewood than ever before. They discovered that a group of humans had settled near the edge of the forest. These humans were diverting the streams for their own use and planting non-native species that disrupted the natural balance of Bristlewood. Tusk and his friends knew they had to find a way to communicate with the humans and convince them to change their ways. Returning to the herd, Tusk shared their findings. Grizzle and the elders devised a plan to approach the humans peacefully, hoping to reach an understanding that would allow both communities to coexist. With Grizzle's guidance, Tusk and a few selected boars cautiously approached the humans' settlement. They watched from a distance, observing the humans' habits and looking for an opportunity to make their presence known. One morning, as a young human girl named Lily was collecting water from the stream, Tusk decided it was time to act. Lily was startled when she saw the large, black boar standing nearby, but she soon noticed his gentle demeanor and the intelligence in his eyes. Tusk slowly approached, bowing his head to show he meant no harm. Lily, sensing his peaceful intent, cautiously extended her hand. Tusk nudged her gently, earning her trust. Over the following days, Tusk returned to the stream, each time leading Lily a little further into the forest. He showed her the areas that were suffering the most: the drying streams, the choking, invasive plants, and the withering meadows. Lily was moved by the damage she saw and realized the impact her family's actions were having on the forest and its inhabitants. Determined to help, Lily spoke to her parents and the other settlers. She explained the importance of the forest to the wild boars and how their actions were causing harm. Initially, some settlers were skeptical, but Lily's passion and the clear evidence of the forest's decline convinced them to listen. One evening, the settlers gathered around a fire, discussing how they could make amends. Lily's father, a wise and kind-hearted man named Thomas, stood up and addressed the group. "We came here to build a new life, but we must do so without destroying the lives that were already here. The boars have shown us the harm we've caused, and it's our responsibility to fix it." The settlers agreed to work with the boars to restore balance to Bristlewood. The next day, with Tusk and Lily leading the way, humans and boars began their joint effort. They rediverted the streams back to their natural courses, ensuring water once again flowed to the heart of the forest. They worked together to remove the invasive plants and replanted native species that the boars relied on for food. The work was hard and took many weeks, but slowly the forest began to heal. The streams sparkled with fresh water, the meadows turned green again, and the native plants flourished. As the forest revived, so did the health of the boars. They found plentiful food and clean water, and their spirits lifted. During this time, Tusk and Squealer continued to emphasize the importance of health and balance within the herd. They organized gatherings where the younger boars learned about the importance of a varied diet, regular exercise, and the need to respect and care for their environment. The older boars shared their wisdom, and the herd grew stronger and more united. The bond between the humans and the wild boars grew as well. The settlers built their homes in harmony with nature, ensuring they did not disrupt the delicate balance of the forest. They often invited the boars to join them in celebrations, sharing food and stories. One day, as the sun set over the rejuvenated Bristlewood, Tusk stood with Squealer, looking out over the forest they had fought to save. "We did it, Squealer," Tusk said, a sense of pride and accomplishment in his voice. "We restored our home and learned the importance of taking care of our health and our land." Squealer nodded. "And we've made new friends along the way. Together, we can ensure Bristlewood remains a place of harmony for generations to come." Tusk's journey from carefree adventurer to responsible leader had become a cherished story among the boars. It was a reminder that taking care of one's health and respecting nature were essential for a happy, thriving life. The tale of Tusk and the restoration of Bristlewood was passed down through the herd, inspiring future generations to live with balance and harmony. And so, the wild boars of Bristlewood flourished, living in a peaceful, vibrant forest where humans and animals coexisted, each taking care of their health and the land that sustained them.